executive leadership, industry newsmakers, top producer insights. This is NFM TV.
Welcome into NFM TV. It's top producer time again, this time for the month of March. I am Greg Scher, and we're delighted to be joined by David Arocho. He's our newest star, and I mean star, out of the Columbus, Ohio area. David, we're really happy you're with us on NFM TV. Thanks for being the top producer for the month of March.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. I know that someone of your stature doesn't take a move very lightly. You were at your previous company for 9 years. What went into the decision to join NFM?
I think, a couple of years ago when I started to see NFM come into town, obviously it piques my interest. So over the last couple of years, as I've seen them grow and become a very big force here in Columbus, Ohio, in addition to the fact that Daniel and I, who've become good friends, we've talked a lot of business as well. So I think as I've gotten to know the company, know where they stand, their reputation, their growth, the future, the technology, everything that was very positive about NFM, it started to pique my interest even more, knowing that this was probably the place I wanted to be at. So over the last couple of years, I've taken some time to study them, interview, talk to agents, talk to consumers, and so forth. And everything has been nothing but positive from NFM.
And so you join NFM, your title is Vice President, and you join Daniel Saw, who is running that region there and doing an incredible job. Daniel and his team closed north of 1,000 loans in 2019, pre-David Arocho joining. You guys are setting up a monopoly. Watch out for the government. They may try and shut you guys down. What's the plan between you and Daniel?
Well, obviously the goal here is to grow NFM in a manner that we were expecting. Obviously, in the last year, our conversations have been not about us individually, but how do we grow NFM and that name even more so than where it's at today. So our goal is to double where we're at today, hopefully in the next 12 months. So he and I have a lot of growth plans to look at within NFM.
You've been in the game for 34 years. You started out in servicing for 11, then you jumped into sales 22 years ago. Now, as I mentioned, you're closing around $100 million a year. What was the turning point for you? Was there a pivotal moment in your evolution that got you to this next level?
Sure. And one thing that I did in the beginning in this business, I started off with one agent. And I took that agent, I would say, I'm going to double my business. I need another agent. I got two agents. Then I realized I'm going to double that business. And I made sure that those two agents helped me get two other agents. So I just started utilizing what I had. Because at the end of the day, I realized, people were not going to let me go into offices unannounced or things of that nature. So I figured, okay, take what little I did have at the beginning and make that grow. So I took one agent, took it to two, took it to four, and my goal was within the 12 months to have about 20 agents. So I started to grow my business in that fashion.
I'm really curious to know just how deep you go with your relationships, because over the years on NFM TV and over the years of talking to so many top producers, we find that it really runs the gamut. We've got some top producers that have 200 agents that give them a deal or two. We've got some top producers that have 15 go-tos that will send them as much as 20 to 30 units. Tell us where you fall there.
Well, I probably have a mixture of both. I mean, I definitely have a core group that gives me, probably a higher amount, and I've got a handful that also give me so many throughout the year based off of maybe their own personal production as well. So I don't say no. At the end of the day, that one agent who might only have 5 deals compared to somebody who gives me 25 deals are just as more important to me and vital to me in my business.
What are some areas that David Arocho still needs a little bit of fine tuning? What are you working on in 2020 and beyond?
Well, I mean, I think probably some of the embracing of the technology part of it. The thing for me is that, one thing I don't ever want to lose in this industry is the customer service and the relationship that you have with the consumer. And I meet with 95% of my clients. So I make a point for my clients on pre-approvals to come in, sit down with me, meet with me. I think that clients need to feel and sense what you're offering them. So I will continue to do that and embrace the new technology wave that's happening out there and determine how do I make both of them of value.
How about your team? What's that look like? What's it take to close almost $100 million a year?
Sure. Right now, I've got a team of about 5 people, which consists of 2 LOs who obviously assist, and junior LO and an assistant as well. So they're very instrumental. 2 of them are typically behind the scenes, but obviously I rely on them to make things proceed process flowing wise. I also rely on my 2 LOs who obviously are becoming very instrumental in my business. As I grow my business, I've got to make sure that I've got a team in place to make sure that they work and think the way I do. So obviously now I've got people trained to work like David Arocho.
You've got one of the most diverse shoe boxes of old photos I've ever seen. I mean, you've got Throwback Thursday. Tell us what that is all about and what can people expect following you on social media.
A couple years ago, I started noticing more and more on the Throwback Thursdays on Facebook, so I took a chance to throw some out there. And when I started getting the responses that I did, I felt like, hey, this is a good opportunity to get more exposure and so forth. But also, I like the fact that the people started to realize the personal side of me. Columbus and those who know me know my business part, my business ethics, know who I am on the business level. But I think they've appreciated the personal side that I've been able to show them, to say that, as successful as I am today, I want to show you how I started, where I came from, and who I was back then.
David Arocho, thank you. Thank you for your time on NFM TV and for agreeing right out of the gate. The ink has barely dried on your arrival at NFM, for being with us and allowing us to feature you as our top producer in the month of March. Really can't thank you enough.
Thank you very much. We are very excited to be here, and we truly appreciate the opportunity NFM is affording us, and we're going to make a great go of NFM.
Let's do it. David Arocho in Columbus, Ohio. He is our top producer for the month of March. I'm Greg Scher from NFM TV. We'll see you again soon.